something like that. So our experience is being changed from the inside out. By what? By this design thing. How is that possible? That our attention to different things is changing in different scenarios, right? If we're crying, we pay attention to certain things. If we're hungry, we pay attention to certain things. When we are in a joyful mood, after we laugh, we pay attention to different things. Our world changes, right? Our scope of the world changes. Our awareness changes. It kind of like bends a little bit. Things in the distance sometimes might feel closer, or they might feel further away if we feel lonely. But when we feel whole and wholesome, what does that even mean, right? Wholesome. When we feel whole and integrated, our world can kind of zoom in and make further things seem closer and all kind of even, right? Sometimes, right? How is that possible? How is that possible? Through these bones that we didn't even create ourselves. We just popped out of our mamas one day and we're like, oh, here I am in this body that I'm now that I have to be familiar with for the rest of my life, and I didn't make it, but it's somehow allowing my awareness to shift and allowing like certain things to seem really close when I feel happy, and then other things to feel very far when I'm sad. Allow me to hear certain things more in a gigantic room of a lot of people, and pick out certain words that people are saying amongst a loud stereo sound, surround sound experience of people talking. You're able to pick out words. You do all these amazing things as a human being, right? Shifting your awareness. What even is awareness, right? Your ability to just like, your senses just merge together, all harmoniously weaving together and just like placing itself on your body so that you can feel it at the same time as experience those senses. Like your body flinches when you hear a loud sound, right? It's not just you hear it, but your body flinches. Like when you smell a good smell, doesn't your whole body like lean towards it? Like your body and your senses are always doing this like harmonious dance, right? Harmonious dance. It's so beautiful. Affecting your awareness, affecting your life, affecting your vision, affecting what your hearing is paying attention to, your touch, your smell, your taste, your vision. All of those intermingling together in this freaking body you did not make. You just popped out like, boom, here you go. Got to be intimately, now here's your chance to be have an intimate connection with this part of your body that is constantly dictating how your experience is, yet you cannot see it when you look down. You have to be intimately aware. You have to be intimately aware of this area of your body that is constantly affecting your own sight, your vision, your hearing, and all that stuff. It's all harmoniously dancing. And this machination that you didn't make but just popped out, and it's already equipped inside of you. And it's like, there you go. You gotta learn how to use it for the rest of your life. And it's allowing your awareness to shift, allowing you to laugh, allowing you to cry. And when you cry, you feel better. Or maybe you feel worse. Or when you laugh, sometimes you get a good laugh or a pathetic laugh. Or sometimes you get a strong laugh or a great laugh. All sorts of things, right? Your body can do all sorts of like these crazy gymnastics and make your body makes itself feel good or makes itself feel bad. Right? As you laugh, you make yourself feel better. Or as you cry, maybe you make yourself feel better. How do you get another breath after that? How are you sure that another breath comes after? Using this mechanism that was gifted upon us that we didn't create. How do we trust that it does that? It's insane, right? How does it do that? Well, these inner machinations that was just there in your life. It's just there. It can already do all those things. The baby can laugh from the get-go. It's just there. You know what doesn't care about race? You know what doesn't care about skin color? Your ability to laugh. How does that happen? Spending all this time looking at color for no reason. How does this happen? We still haven't figured this out. How is it that you can see something that is, what is humor? How is it that you can have something that's going to make you exude air? And then air is gonna come right back in on each time, and it feels better every time. How's that possible? What's going on there? You know, it doesn't care about your skin color, your ability to laugh, your ability to cry, and for that crying to affect your body's inner state. How does that happen? Did you construct that yourself? Did you make that yourself, you wonderful human being? I know you're a crazy, wonderful human being. I know that you're some kind of godlike window. I know that about you, but did you make that when you came out the womb? Were you working on that? Were you stitching that together? Hitting it with a hammer? Wrapping wires around your body? Wrapping muscles around your bones? Weaving these nerves throughout the spine? Did you do that? When you're already out of the womb, right when you come out the womb, you're crying already. How is that possible? Where you're able to expel one expelliarmus. You're able to expel one voice. Get another breath. And then expel another voice in a way that makes your body regulate. Deal with suffering. Make the body feel better. Through this mechanism of just like this ability for your body to just have a relationship with itself, bounce back and forth. Your lungs go up and down, bouncing back and forth with gravity. Your pelvic floor down here is like relaxing, so it pulls all these muscles pull the air down through your lungs. It happens in this cycle that you don't really control, but you also can kind of control. What the heck is that? As in, when you're unconscious, your breathing is still going, right? By nature of your body's design, by wisdom of your body's design, there's a sort of rubber band motion that happens when you're unconscious, when you're sleeping. Or when you're just not paying attention to, when you're literally not conscious of your breathing, when you're conscious of something else, when your awareness is on something else, not your breathing. Your breathing is still happening like a pump. By nature of its design and its relationship with gravity. As in, when you relax the gut, the diaphragm is able to pull down towards the earth using these rubber band-like relationships of these muscles in your body. But also with gravity. As it descends, it pulls air into your body. Simply by nature of gravity. Pulls air down. By nature of gravity. And when gravity's not there, it has a relationship with its bottom half of the body. The top half of the body has a relationship with the bottom half of the body to emulate this kind of like this tension that gravity has anyway. Crazy. Did we make that? We didn't make that when we came out the womb. We weren't stitching that. So you know what doesn't care about your skin color, your ability to have a relationship with gravity. You know what doesn't care about skin color? Our ability to laugh, our ability to understand words, our ability to translate words into laughter from the inside out. To generate meaning from the inside out by creating relationships, not just with the outside world, but with itself, our body. You see this curve? This curve in the tailbone is gonna have a relationship with the top half of the spine. Isn't that crazy? They just friggin' like relationship with each other. As there's tension from the top half of the spine that goes towards the front, and there's tension towards the bottom half of the spine that goes towards the front, and they bend in towards each other like Pac-Man or something. How do we know this? Look at the fetal position, right? Whip as you feel the front of the shins. Are we curled forward like a shrimp sometimes? Because the top half of the body has a relationship with the bottom half of the body. And that has nothing to do with skin color. But the top half of the body has a relationship with the bottom half of the body. As in, when they go towards each other, they always go towards each other from the front, right? It's most natural from the front. We don't bend backwards, but towards the front. It's a relationship, right? As in, there is a certain way that they behave. There's a certain way that they concern one another. This top half of the body, and this bottom half of the body. Our ability to laugh, ha 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 ha, as our body contracts towards itself. You know, it does not care about your skin color, your ability to laugh, your ability to cry and to feel better and to overcome suffering. Your ability to understand word, your ability to understand logic. Your ability to place the weight of the body into the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all times. Does that concern your skin color? Where do you live? In your kinesthetic experience, do we not? As you're getting off the wrong side of the bed or the right side of the bed. Does that happen on your skin color? When you get off the right side of the bed or the wrong side of the bed? In your actual lived experience, in the experience of your life that you were living. When you get off the right side of the bed versus the wrong side of the bed, is that happening inside of your skin color, your melatonin? Or is it happening in the same place that when I ask you to place or to pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out? And then remember to leave your swallowing muscles on. Again, say it with me. Pretend that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out. And that you do not sit on your legs. Say it with me. Pretend that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out. And to leave your swallowing muscles alone. One more time, say it with me. Pretend there's a candle in front of the lips that you are trying to not put out. And leave your swallowing muscles alone. Doesn't waking up off the good side of the bed or waking up off the wrong side of the bed exist more in that domain, wherever this domain is, whatever parts of the muscles, whatever part of your awareness, whatever place your awareness is in, whatever place your body is in. As you pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. You leave your swallowing muscles alone. And you leave your swallowing muscles alone. As you pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. You leave your swallowing muscles alone. 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 Doesn't waking up off the right side of the bed versus the wrong side of the bed exists more in this domain. Alone. When you leave your swallowing muscles alone. Pretend there's a candle in front of the lips that you do not put out. And you leave your swallowing muscles alone. Isn't this where more the idea of waking up the wrong side of the bed and the right side of the bed exists more? And isn't that such a prominent feeling? Isn't that the same area that music exists in your body? Ability to dance to music and feel free in music. And that feeling when you pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And leaving your swallowing muscles alone. Does that feeling care about your skin color? Does it exist in your skin color? Is your skin the one that's pretending that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out? And is it your skin color that's leaving your swallowing muscles alone? And where you are right now, does that place care about your skin color? We'll be right back. Pretend that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out. And leave the swallowing muscles alone. Does that care about racism? Does that care about your skin color? We'll be right back, guys. Using our sense of the world to make sense of the world. World peace through individual strength. Your only no nonsense podcast. Brought to you by the Best Feeling Network. I'm your host, Herbie. This is Pal Go On. Are you pretending that there is a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out? Are you remembering to leave the swallowing muscles alone? 2 more times. Are you pretending that there is a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out? And are you leaving those swallowing muscles alone? 1 more time. In your first podcast in 3D, 1 more time. Are you pretending that there is a candle in front of your lips you're trying to not put out? Are you leaving your swallowing muscles alone? How does your sense of self feel as you do that? Are you allowing all of these words to enter one ear and then out the other? Always. Always, 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 always on Pal Go On. Does this racism stuff, does your skin color care? Or rather, yeah, does your skin color care about your best side of the bed, your good side of the bed, your wrong side of the bed? When you pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips and then that you're trying to not put out and then leave your swallowing muscles alone, does that happen on your skin? Is that something that happens on your skin layer? Again, as we're pretending that there's a candle in front of our lips, you're trying to not put out. And you leave your swallowing muscles alone. Does that happen on the skin layer? Do you need your skin to be any color for that to happen? In fact, do you need to be any height for that to happen? Do you need to participate in any kind of culture for that to happen? Can anybody take that away from you? Is your skin color dictating how well you can place the weight of the body into the front of the spine and it's the rainbow arch at all times? Is your skin color dictating how well you can pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out? And to leave your swallowing muscles alone. Is your skin color dictating those things? Your ability to feel great. Why does it matter that you can do that? Why does it matter that you can have stillness? Why does it matter that you can pretend that there is a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out? And to leave the swallowing muscles. Why does it matter to feel good? Well, when you feel good, you think good, you do good. Say it with me. When you feel good, you think good, you do good. Say it with me again. When you feel good, you think good, you do good. 1 more time and say it with me just for 3s. When you feel good, say it with me. You think good, you do good. 1 more time, say it with me. When you feel good, you think good, you do good. Does your skin color dictate your ability to pretend that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out? And then to leave your swallowing muscles alone. Is that something that is dictated by your skin color? Karen, this movie. In this movie, what are they saying? They're like, they don't like you because of your skin color. Because of your skin color. But we are defined by what we do, are we not? We're always defined by what we do, which is what we do is affected by how we think, right? And how we think is affected by how we feel, right? We're defined by what we do. As in, why would people... How could people hate based on a skin color when we know not of even ourselves, we know not of even who we are? We barely know who we are. We barely can see inside of ourselves. We barely know how to place the weight of the body into the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches a lot of the times. We barely just learn to start pretending that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out. And to leave your swallowing muscles alone. No, aren't we mostly concerned with who we are and what we do? And so when people affect us and when we are in a bad mood, do we not, as we were talking earlier, as our awareness is always affected by our insides, right? Our awareness is constantly being shifted. And so aren't we always just mostly concerned with ourselves? So what we see on the outside, aren't we always just projecting how we feel on the inside? So if we're spreading hate, and if we're trying to say things that hurt other people, are we not just hurting ourselves and trying to find the first thing, which anger usually does? Don't we usually just try to find the first thing and try to insult that? And isn't the first thing we see always just skin deep? But aren't our problems always much, much deeper than skin deep? Aren't they always bone deep? Aren't our problems always bone deep? As in, isn't it hard for us to feel ourselves? Isn't our sense of self lacking because we lost the ability to feel the muscles that get activated when we pretend that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out? And then you leave your swallowing muscles alone. Isn't there a sense of self that is crippling? A relationship with the self that is diminishing because the muscles that are supposed to be activated to get a good breath are being forgotten about. But how do we reactivate those muscles? By pretending that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out. And to leave your swallowing muscles alone. As in, you pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you are trying to not put out. And to leave your swallowing muscles alone. As in, we pretend that there's a candle in front of the lips that you are trying to not put out. Trying to not put out, and you leave your swallowing muscles alone. What is racism if not an insult towards the most outer layer, the most immediate layer of information you know about people? And what do you usually gather about information when you are angry? The surface level things. So is racism this thing that exists within human beings, or is it this projection of this inside anger, this inside inability to feel calmer? So what do? They insult the first thing they see, because when you're angry, all you can see is the surface. You cannot see meaning. When you're angry, you look at the first thing, because anger has to do with safety, has to do with survival. As in, you only get angry when you feel threatened by something, when your safety feels threatened by something. And so what is most threatening? Things that are on the surface, right? So you only get angry when things are threatening you, and when you're angry, you only look at surface level things, because anger has to do with survival, and survival has to only do with surface level things, as in things that are immediately dangerous to you, like physical things, surface level things, physical things. A dart being thrown at you. You're not looking at the meaning of the dart being thrown at you, you're trying to dodge the dart. A sword being swung at you, you're not thinking about the meaning of the sword, you're trying to dodge the sword. It's a physical object. It's in this physical plane. This physical plane, wow. This physical plane. When you're angry, you only see the physical plane, because anger has to do with survival. And survival has to do with a physical plane. So when you're angry, all you're gonna see is the physical stuff. The quote-unquote race, the quote-unquote color. It's not really about race, it's the color, right? That's what they say, right? When people are angry, they look at surface level things. Well, how do you never get angry ever again? Well, here on Pal Go On, we're pretending that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out. And to leave your swallowing muscles alone. Does racism exist? Sure, as in people get angry and they do things based on anger, and anger can only see the surface level things, so they will remark on the surface level things in their anger. So racism exists in the sense that people can't calm down, as in they're angry. And when you're angry, you look at the surface level things. That's what happens when you're angry, because anger has to do with survival. And survival regards itself with surface level things, because those are things that are threatening your survival. So when you're angry, what do you look at? Physical things. The most outer layer thing, the most least having to do with how a person is ever. Because as you're pretending that there's a candle in front of your lips, and then you leave your swallowing muscles alone. pretending there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. You leave your swallowing muscles alone. Is that happening on the outside layer that people can see? Or is that happening on the inside layer that people cannot see? And yet, doesn't that affect your entire life? How you act towards people, how you enjoy this food right here, how you smell this food, how well you listen to this music. Isn't that all grounded in your body's ability to stay grounded and to feel itself? To be in the moment. Not be anywhere else, but just be where your body is. Is that on the inside or the outside? And how do people operate? On the inside or the outside? When you get off the right side of the bed versus the wrong side of the bed, are you feeling your skin color? Or is it something intimate, more on the inside? Kind of like pretending that there's a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out. And then leaving your swallowing muscles alone. Of course, when people are angry, they look at the surface level things. Is there some kind of racist specter out there that is controlling people? Or is there a part of the human design, which is anger, which causes people to look at surface level things? If they could, they'd probably talk about deeper level things, but when you're angry, you cannot look at deeper level things. So what do they mean by racism exists? As in people do things that are motivated by racial color, by skin color? Then no, the answer is no, because it's actually motivated by the inability to feel okay, to feel regulated. Because when you feel regulated, you don't even look at surface level things. You're looking at meaning, because that's what you're doing on the inside. Are you looking at your own body on the surface level to understand how to gauge whether or not pretending there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out, and then leave your swallowing muscles alone? As you're feeling your body shift in that, are you looking at your physical self? Are you looking at your skin color to make that happen? Or are you feeling something on the inside? Are you feeling a meaning on the inside that you are now relating to your body, to your world? Are you feeling a meaning on the inside to gauge whether or not this exercise is working? As we're pretending that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. Remember, a lit candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And then you're remembering that you do not sit on your legs as you leave your swallowing muscles alone. Sorry, leave your swallowing muscles alone. It's those two. You want to do those two. You want to pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And then you want to leave your swallowing muscles alone, as that will counteract each other and create a nice big opening in the front of your the front of your jaw there, and the breathing pipes in the front, which exists in the front of the swallowing muscles, not behind. So as you are pretending that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out, and then you're leaving your swallowing muscles alone for those two pull against each other to create a nice opening for your breathing. Do you verify whether that's working through your skin? Are you looking at your skin color to check whether or not that's working? This beautiful body magic trick? You checking your skin? No, you're looking at the meaning of your world, right? Your inside world. You're feeling it. There's a meaning. The feeling that you're getting is the meaning, right? It's like, I'm pretending that there's a candle and I'm not trying to put out. I'm leaving my smell. Ooh, so when I do that, what does it mean? It means that there's a good breath from the inside out, right? There's a meaning from the inside out. So we're living from this meaning, this inside out meaning, because we're not looking at this object, right? We're not looking at the skin color, this like very surface level thing of our bodies, right? We're feeling it from the inside out. There's this 3D world experience, the first podcast in 3D. There's this 3D world experience that we're experiencing when we are pretending that, right? When we are imagining and putting our awareness on the idea of this candle being there so that we can feel our face muscles and all sorts of things like that. And then leaving your swallowing muscles alone. Are we experiencing something from the inside out to know whether or not that's working? And so when we aren't marred by anger, aren't we looking at the entire world more inclusively, more like us? Because when things aren't endangering you, you feel more in common with them. But when things are endangering you, what do? You make an othering of them. It's different than you. Blah. But when you are not angry, when you are not threatened, you are more likely to see commonalities between people, right? Which means you're more likely to see the meaning between people, not the object. As in how they feel from the inside, because they are human from too. And so are you. So we don't actually look at skin color until we are angry. If we feel angry, which only happens when you feel threatened or trapped or something like that, when you get angry, which can happen from the inside, right? Because if you can't feel your body in the proper places, and if you can't get a good breath by having a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out and leave your swallowing muscles alone. If you are not able to do that, you can feel trapped from the inside, right? Anger doesn't have to just happen from the outside. You can feel trapped from the inside. You can feel like your body is unable to regulate itself, unable to overcome the situation that it's in. It's suffering, its current suffering of its inability to breathe. As you know, you die every 5 minutes, but that timers are set with every breath you take. So its inability to get a better breath, we know that can feel like you're being trapped. So human anger can come from all sorts of places, not just from the outside world, but also its inside world, its inability to feel itself, its crappy relationship with itself. Can cause all sorts of suffering, which can cause anger. So we don't need to see people aggressing on each other on the outside world, but anger will manifest, and we can see that. And that anger will manifest from an inability, from feeling of threat, a feeling of there is a threat, a feeling of inability to take action in the way that it wants to. And that can happen not just from the outside world of feeling intimidated from the outside world, but also having a crappy relationship with the inside world and being intimidated or intellectualized out of being able to pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And then leaving the swallowing muscles alone. The world itself might make you feel trapped by your body's own inability to get a proper breath, because you die every 5 minutes and that timer's reset with each breath. Very life and death, these breaths. So you can feel trapped from the inside as well. And when you feel trapped, not just from the outside, but from the inside world as well, when you feel trapped, period, that's when you get angry, because you feel threatened. No one likes to be trapped if it's a threat. You start to feel angry. And when you get angry, you look at surface level things, because you other people, you other people, you other things, you other people, like you, as in like you create a barrier between you and them because it's a threat now. They are a threat to you. They cannot be part of you, otherwise they will kill you. So you must make a wall. So when that wall happens, when you're angry because you feel trapped, either from the outside world or the inside world of having a crappy relationship with your own body to breathe better. You feel me? Do you feel me? You get upset, you get angry, what do? You other people. You don't see them for their meaning, their insides, but you rather see them as an other. You see them exactly superficially, as far away as you can, as surface level as you can, which is their color. Most surface level thing ever. And you put your anger on that. Not coming from some outside hatred. What is even outside hatred other than something on the outside world that affects your ability to feel better? As in, it affects your ability to pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And to leave your swallowing muscles alone. What can do that other than forgetting about doing that? Skin color? I don't think so. Height? I don't think so. Weight? I don't think so. Sexual orientation? I don't think so. None of those things can prevent you from simply placing the awareness of the idea, or simply placing your awareness on the muscles that activate when you think about putting a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And leaving your swallowing muscles alone. And feeling the front of your shins. And remembering that you do not sit on your legs. Again, would you pretend with me that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out? And will you join me in leaving your swallowing muscles alone? Why? To feel better, objectively. Do away with this nonsense. This nonsense myth of racism. As if it's not just its own body's inability to regulate itself and to feel better. Karen. They don't like us, Karen. Skin deep concerns with the world right now. When in actuality, pretending that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And leaving your swallowing muscles alone is always there for you. And does that care about your skin color? Nah, what's this racism thing? Just anger. And what is this anger thing if not feeling a threat, right? And why are they feeling threatened? Well, from the outside world, but also the inside world, right? Our body's inability to know itself, our relationship with itself is crippling itself. It feels like a threat. That's where racism comes from. We'll be right back. Right back to send you guys off. It is 6:29 a.m. on Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. Where are you right now? Are you stretching your self-awareness like a muscle today? As you're pretending that there is a candle in front of the lips that you're trying to not put out and leaving your swallowing muscles alone. Does that happen on the skin layer? Or does it happen on the inside? So when people are unable to feel that feeling and to regulate, is that not what they're projecting to the world? Is that not why they can only see things skin deep? But when you can feel better on command, would you not see things as meaning and deep? Deeper than skin deep. Have a great day, guys. Feel great. Objectively. I'm Pago on. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Racism don't exist. Pretend that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out, and leave your swallowing muscles alone. Feel good from the inside out. Feel so good on the inside out. Feel so freaking good on the inside out. Isn't that what's really happening, guys? My name is Herbie. This is Pago on. See you tomorrow, guys.